Hi everyone, I'm Pastor John. It's good to see you. Good to see parents, moms and dads, grandparents, those of you who are with your children on this Wednesday morning. Every Wednesday at St. John's, we like to share with you a gift, and we call it Storytime with Pastor John, a time for your children to sit and for us to read a story together, maybe sing a simple song. And so I welcome you today. It's a beautiful day. And it's a quiet day too. Parents and children, quiet days are really neat. When the house is quiet, when things are really silent and still, and you think about wonderful things like maybe your friends. You think about how wonderful it is to have a friend, or how important it is to be a friend. We're going to talk about that in this story, Corduroy. But when I think about friends, I think about the friends who always are with you, there to play with you in the playground, to come to your house and visit, to listen to you and to share their stories, to laugh with. When you think about a friend, you always think about someone who is always going to come by. This little song, we sang it last week, is Kumbaya, which means come by here. In the first part, we're going to sing Kumbaya, my Lord. Come by here, God. And the second verse, let's sing Someone is singing, Lord, come by here, Kumbaya. And then the third verse, let's sing Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya means come by here. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone singing, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Someone's praying, Lord, Kumbaya. Oh Lord, Kumbaya. That's a fun song to sing. It's a quiet song, but it's a song about friends. Here's a story about friends named Corduroy. I'm going to scooch over here so we can read it together. Corduroy is a bear who once lived in the toy department of a big store. Day after day, he waited with all the other animals and dolls for someone to come along and to take him home. See little Corduroy in his green overalls? He looks like he's waiting for a friend. The store was always filled with shoppers buying all sorts of things, but no one ever seemed to want a small bear in green overalls. Then one morning, a little girl stopped and looked straight into Corduroy's bright eyes. "Oh, Mommy," she said, "look, there's the very bear I've always wanted." "Not today, dear," her mother sighed. "I've spent too much already. Besides, he doesn't look new. He's lost the button on one of his shoulder straps." Can you see how he's lost a button on one of his shoulder straps? Can you see how he's been waiting? He's waiting for a friend. He wants a friend so much. Corduroy watched them sadly as they walked away. See them walking away? I didn't know I'd lost a button, he said to himself. Tonight, I'll go see if I can find one. Late that evening, when all the shoppers had gone and the doors were shut and locked, Corduroy climbed carefully down from his shelf and began marching somewhere on the floor for his lost button. Now he wants his lost button. Suddenly he felt the floor moving under him, quite by accident, and had stepped on an escalator and up he went. Could this be a mountain, he wondered? I think I've always wanted to climb a mountain. He stepped off the elevator and it reached the next floor. And there before his eyes was a most amazing sight. Tables and chairs and lamps and sofas and rows of beds. This must be a palace, Corduroy gasped. I guess I've always wanted to live in a palace. He wandered around admiring the furniture. This must be a bed, he said. I've always wanted to sleep in a bed. And up he crawled into a large, thick mattress. All at once he saw something small and round. Why, there's a button, he cried, and he tried to pick it up. But like all the other buttons to the mattress, it was tied down tight. Do you think he got the button? He yanked and pulled with both paws and until pop, off came the button, and off the mattress Corduroy toppled, boing, into a tall floor lamp. Over it fell with a crash. Oh, Corduroy. Corduroy didn't know it, but there was someone else awake in the store. The night watchman was going on his rounds on the floors above. When he heard the crash, he came dashing down the escalator. Now, who in the world did that? He exclaimed. Somebody must be hiding around here. He flashed his light under and over sofas and beds until he came to the biggest bed of all, and there he saw two fuzzy brown ears sticking up from under the cover. Hello, he said. How did you get upstairs? The watchman tucked Corduroy under his arm and carried him down the escalator and set him on the shelf in the toy department with the other animals and the other dolls. Corduroy had just waken up when the first customer came into the store in the morning, and there, looking at him with a wide, warm smile, was the same little girl he'd seen only the day before. I'm Lisa, she said, and you're going to be my very own bear. Last night I counted what I had saved in my piggy bank, and my mother said I could bring you home. Shall I put him in a box for you? The sales lady said. Oh, no, thanks, Lisa answered, and she carried Corduroy home in her arms. She ran all the way up 4 flights of stairs into her family's apartment and straight to her own room. Corduroy blinked. There was a chair and a chest of drawers, and alongside a girl-sized bed stood a little bed just to the right for him. The room was small, nothing like that enormous palace in the department store. "This must be home," he said. "I know, I've always wanted a home." Lisa sat down with Corduroy on her lap and began to sew a button on his overalls. "I'd like you the way you are," she said, "but you'll be more comfortable with your shoulder strap fastened." "You must be a friend," said Corduroy. "I've always wanted a friend." "Me too," said Lisa, and gave Corduroy a hug. Friends are the best thing in the world, aren't they? And so think about your friends and think about how you can be a friend. Think about how you can make another person feel special. Talk to your mom and your dad and ask them who their friends are and who their friends were when they were children. And ask your parents what a good friend is. What makes a good friend? Talk about that at home. But remember, you always have a friend here at St. John's. It's so good to see you. Moms and dads, we always invite you to come to Storytime with Pastor John on Wednesdays. You can go to our church website at stjohnslexington.com to find out more about St. John's. And you can always find Storytime with Pastor John at St. John's Lutheran Church's Facebook page. And the handle, moms and dads, for our Facebook page is Welcome to St. John's. Welcome to St. John's on Facebook. Come there, be with us for Storytime. Join us at 9:30 on Sunday mornings for worship that's streamed online and also held in person outside the church. Welcome to St. John's. Boys and girls, good to see you all. Parents, grandparents, adults, great to see you. God bless.